What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Exploring Investments with Justin. And in today's video, what I'm going to be covering is Carnival Cruise Stock, because this has also been a pretty popular stock just given how volatile it's been. And quickly, before we dive into today's video, I do want to say thank you to all of you that have been supporting the YouTube channel as we continue to grow. So thank you guys, and be sure to let me know in the comment section if there's a specific stock that you guys want me to cover. And make sure to hit that subscribe button, because I will be putting out a bunch of videos covering different stocks and what's going on in the stock market today. So with that being said, let's jump right into it. So Carnival Cruise Line is actually a company that I do have a pretty big position in, and we'll get into what I'm going to be doing with my position towards the end of the video. But they are the biggest company within the cruise industry and have a current market cap of almost $15 billion. Now, this stock is up a crazy amount from the lows we saw back in March, and since the low of $7.80, it has rebounded an insane 150% and currently sits at just over $20 a share. So when evaluating whether right now is a good time to buy or sell Carnival Cruise stock, you have to realize that it's already gone up a significant amount with no real news coming out regarding this company. So if we go back in time to the 2008 recession, it took the cruise industry almost 3 years to recover, and one of the big differences between that recession and the downturn we went through this year is that the global issue has put the safety of cruises into the spotlight. So what we are now experiencing is not a question of whether or not people will have the money to take cruises like the years following the 2008 recession, but whether or not they feel safe being on a cruise. And the people who are fortunate enough to still have their job may opt out of taking a cruise because of the fear of getting sick. And let me quickly remind you of Carnival's Diamond Princess cruise ship that had to remain off the coast of Japan because more than 600 people on board became sick. So I do see a scenario happening where the cruises reopen and we have another Diamond Princess situation, and this could have a devastating effect on the cruise industry if this were to happen again. And as of right now, the CDC has prohibited cruises in US waters through at least July 24th, so we'll have to see what demand looks like once cruises are allowed to dock and sail out of the United States. And like I've said in previous videos, I do think Carnival will get back to the revenue numbers and the stock price that we saw just 6 months ago. It just might take anywhere from 1 to 3 years for them to get back to those levels. But like I said, I do see it happening again. So if you're willing to hold on to this stock for the next 3 to 5 years, then I do think you will get a return. But in the end, you have to know what your investment timeline is for this company. And before I jump into what my position is and what I'm going to be doing, I just want to quickly cover the balance sheet, because I do think it is important to know what the financial health of Carnival Cruise is before deciding whether you should buy at these levels or sell. So currently they have about $500 million in cash with almost $2 billion in short-term debt. Now, unfortunately, this lack of cash combined with zero revenue forced them to raise an additional $6 billion with an interest rate that's in the double digits. So if you were planning to buy this as a dividend investment, I would probably look elsewhere, because they already cut their dividend and will probably not be paying one for a few years as they pay down this high interest debt. And with the additional $6 billion that they took on in new debt, I do think they'll have more than enough cash to get through at the least this year, and that's assuming no revenue. So the fact that they'll be starting up their cruises again late in the summer, I do think they will at least get some sort of revenue. So talking a little bit about what I'm going to be doing, I do personally have a pretty big position in Carnival Cruise Line with 90 shares at an average cost of $15.98. So in total, I do have about $1,500 invested into Carnival Cruise. And right now, it only accounts for about 9% of my portfolio. And I did start buying this stock when it was around $20 and just lowered my cost basis as it continued to fall. Now, I won't tell you what to do with your position or if you're thinking of starting one, but what I can do is tell you what I plan on doing with my shares. So right now I'm up almost 25%, or about $350. So I have already gotten a pretty good return, but I don't think I'm quite ready to sell out just yet, because I do think there is more room for CCL to go up if the broader market continues to rise. However, you want to keep in mind that when the market dips, stocks like Carnival will get hit much harder. So I think in terms of what my strike price would be to sell Carnival, it would probably be around the $23 to $25 per share range, because that would net me about a 50% return on my investment. And to me, that's a pretty good return. I'll take that any day. Now, if it were to continue falling, I would probably sell at around break even, whether that be a small profit or a small loss. The biggest thing for me is I want to be able to take this money out and reinvest it into another company because I already hold almost 15% of my portfolio in cash. So now that I've told you a little bit about what I think of Carnival Cruise Line, be sure to let me know in the comment section what you plan on doing if you do have a position, or let me know if you're starting one and why, because I'd love to hear what you guys think of this stock and what your plans are. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.